What's up, Narko gang? Welcome back to the channel. If you're not subscribed, you already know what to do. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, hit that bell to be notified for everything that we drop. Today video is about FatBoy Max's cousin. I think his name is FatBoyDip. I don't know. I never heard about him. I don't know nothing about him. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing clips ever since the FaZe clan broke up. I've been seeing clips back and forth about, you know what I'm saying, him knowing a lot of situation, a lot about the situation. Apparently, everybody else that's in FaZe is under an NDA. He know a lot about the situation and he's not under NDA. So apparently he's the one that's dropping all the jewels. So with that being said, let's get to this content, Narko gang.
If I live chat, I want hints. Let's talk about everything. Let's talk about everything.
I know one thing, that nigga needs something.
Okay.
That nigga needs a face wash or something, cause god dang.
Let's talk about everything. First off, let's talk about Bank saying aren't real friends. Bank saying are not real friends. As we all know, chat, these niggas were not friends before they started this. No, or they might have been cool, and then they grew to like each other. So let's just use Max. They were saying Max is Travis Scott. They said this to him. They had arguments. Brothers argue, do they not? Max said, "I don't like when you troll like this. I think it's cringe." He said this to these faces, and they have said, "Yo, bro, your ego and you acting different," to his face. So I don't get where that's coming from. I think he's trying to make points, but they don't even make sense because that has nothing to do with the points these are making about this. We're talking about business and not doing good business. So even if they aren't friends, I don't get why that matters. But I would say they are friends, argue, and that's that. Because it's funny because in Miami chat, this Banks was calling Max in the car, saying like, "Yo, bro," they were just talking. And they're like, "Yo, this Silky though, he's lazy as da 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 da." Yo, you would have thought we was in a skit talking crazy shit, not even knowing Max was on speaker. Silky is right next to Max, talking crazy shit about in Miami, saying this is lazy. I don't know about this. And when he comes back, "Yo, this is my brother. This is my brother." So I guess we all fake then. I guess we all fake as. Silky hearing everything. Yo, gang, he was talking shit about him for like 10 minutes. We were like, yo, I'm literally like, yo, are we in a skit? Does he know Silky's right here? He has to. He has to know. When you get back, it's like, "Oh, you're a brother." Oh, gang, like, we understand each other. Oh, I don't know, brother. Like, bro, I don't get it.
So and now he exposing Silky.
And then let's speak on Banks leaving FaZe. Banks was pushed out of FaZe by the FaZe members, right? And they wanted Kalish to run it. Max leaves. So now there's this thing called Hardscope that now owns FaZe, which Banks has a part of. So you still part of FaZe. What are you talking about? These liars, bro. You still are part of FaZe because you own Hardscope. What the bro, you gotta see what I'm saying, Chad. Be lying, bro.
No, this is actually crazy. If this is true, Banks is actually like bogus, bro. Like you actually try to run a scam, like run a fake smear campaign type on the FaZe clan, and you actually own the FaZe clan still. Like this is crazy,
bro. These liars, and then they say the same shit to him. We need 20%. They brought back the deal because it's not happening. I guess broke. They needed money, so they used the same deal. They said we're not doing. Now it's Hardscope and not FaZe doing it. Do you all see what I'm saying? So you are a part of FaZe because you own FaZe still because Hardscope owns FaZe. You own a percentage of Hardscope. Bro, y'all don't, bro, word playing is, bro, you own FaZe, gang. That's why he's leaving. This is why he's leaving, bro. Another thing with the FaZe, let's talk about Max. How took multiple shits, bro. Max, you see how Max is a partner of Spotify, right? He did not have that sponsorship at first. FaZe did. And this is how it happened. They redid Max's house, right? Redid his shit. And they're like, "Yo, can we put up the Spotify shit for this video? It's sponsored." Max is like, "Yeah, whatever, that's cool." After the video, I'm like, "Yo, take that shit down. You're not getting paid." These start saying, "Nah, this shit hard as bro. Like, that shit just look good and make it official, bro. The Spotify, da da da. This shit look official." I'm looking at this. And this is where I'm like, how does Max have ego? Because this is like, yeah, this shit is a little hard. This is official. How does it like, gang, you're FatBoy Max? You can get that yourself. And if you want to split it, that's cool. What the? So this is where. So we end up taking it down. Little dude, we know they're selling his identity without letting him know. And so Max ends up leaving FaZe. We only knew this because he left FaZe. He got the deal on Spotify. They dropped FaZe and gave it to Max. Guess how much this was for? 400 bands for 5 months. He was about to run off a half the ticket off.
That's crazy.
Half the ticket off. Chat, just so this makes sense, imagine LeBron James and the Lakers working together and the Lakers take all the money from a commercial with Beats. Imagine LeBron is wearing a Lakers jersey, and he's wearing his Beats. And so LeBron and the Lakers are like, okay, we'll break this off, but da-da-da-da-da. Imagine the Lakers take all the money, LeBron gets nothing. What the f***? And you don't tell him, and you don't even tell him it's paid.
I don't think, what I'm starting to realize is, I don't think the FaZe clan realized that they worked for FaZe. I think they thought they were the owners of FaZe and they had assistants. I think they managers. I think they thought that FaZe Banks was a manager. You feel me? And everybody else that was within FaZe operation was just like assistant managers or something. I don't know, assistants. I don't know, bro. Like, what were y'all expecting to happen? Y'all thought y'all wasn't gonna have to pay the corporation? FaZe is a corporation. Now, the problem is the corporation never implemented the 20% in the beginning. That's where they messed up at. If I was a record label, right, and I decided to sign Drake early on, right, when he was just getting off of Degrassi so trying to be a rapper, I'm like, okay, bet I got a record label. I can put money behind you. Let me sign you. But instead of signing you to a 360 deal up front, I give you full rights to your masters. You know what I'm saying? Full rights to your publishing. And then when you turn into Drake, I try to come at you with 20%. You know what I'm saying? 5-6 years down the line. Like, no, that's not how that works. You sign me for nothing, pretty much, for a name or a face, and that's it. You can't come to me later on and say, oh, no, well, you got to sign this. If you want to stay here, you got to sign this. Like, no, that's not how that works, bro.
You don't even tell him it's paid. And the house looks like a walking promo. That's bad business, bro. That's bad business, bro. That's bad business, bro. And chat, I'm not going to be on long today, bro. But this is the main thing, bro. Max and Banks got in an argument, a crazy argument. They hang up. He calls other FaZe members and says, "F this nigga. F this nigga." He says, "F this nigga." That was his last straw of like, oh nah, because now it's like, gang, you overly playing with me. And it gets worse. This it's called, when Max left, he called him like, yo, bro, why you leaving? Why you leaving? He would give him all the reason. He's like, yo, bro, the last reason for real was, you called me. You know what this response was like? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? What? What? And he's like, bro, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know you said that shit. I know you said that shit. He's like, bro, I was angry, da-da-da, but keep it a buck, bro. That's not the reason you left FaZe. Keep it a buck. Don't put that on me, bro. You know I'm going through a lot, bro. You know I love you. You're going through a lot. I'm going through a lot. Don't put that on me, bro. Max like, yo, bro, I'm not going to expose that shit. Like, it don't matter. Like, I'm going to take that on the chin. I don't care, bro. I'll be the evil. But you said that shit. He's like, if I did, it wasn't on no racist shit, bro. Like, what? And chat, everything I'm saying, multiple people are in rooms for this. I'm not. Every single thing I'm saying, that's why I'm not saying some shit where I don't have any vouchers. Every single thing I said, chat, multiple people or everyone knows it's happening.
I mean, he really ain't said too much of nothing, but you know what I'm saying? The only thing that really that stood out as a conflict of interest was that FaZe Bank still owns part of whatever he said company owns FaZe now. And the other thing that stood out was that they tried to bring forth the 20%, you know what I'm saying, of, 20% or you got to leave. You know, that those two things stood out as two issues to me. Everything else, I just felt like you just gossip.
Multiple people or everyone knows it's happening, bro. Hold on. Yeah, bro. And chat, these are the main reasons. And then phase. There's also smaller reasons. I'm not gonna say nothing that isn't I witnessed with my own eyes. I was in the car when they talking about calling him. So I can say this with my own.
Wait,
Talking about
so
that.
you saying FaZe Banks called Blackboy Max the N word? Is that what he's saying? Please, somebody in the comments, let me know if that's what happened.
I can talk about them doing the Spotify shit.
All right, that's gonna be it. He really just pretty much just gossiping. Now, if he said the N word, that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that's actually crazy. I didn't hear. I mean, I have heard things like that, but I thought it was just gossip. But if it's coming from somebody that obviously he like an informant, you know what I'm saying? When you see people like this, like like what's his name, Fat Boy something. When you see people like him, you got to take what he's saying truthful, because what they do is they act like they down, but they soak up all the information to do exactly what he's doing right now. It's to snitch. So his whole persona being around Blackboy Max was to soak up as much game as possible, just in case something like this happened, and he can do exactly what he's doing. So I'm not gonna say he's lying about anything. Everything he's saying, I'm taking to be 100% true, because people like this, like a 6ix9ine, you know what I'm saying, like a Trenches News. If y'all know Swiper from Chicago, Trenches News. People like that, they not gonna lie, bro. For real, because yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. But anyway, hit that like button, that subscribe button, hit that bell to know if I've everything that we drop. With that being said, we have to stay Narco gang. Peace.